Welcome to the E-commerce Badassery Podcast, the place for scrappy entrepreneurs who want to learn actionable steps and strategies to grow the traffic, sales, and profit in your e-commerce business. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster, a 20-year retail veteran and former brick-and-mortar boutique owner who spent 3 years as the only employee of a 7-figure online store. That shit was crazy. I know exactly how it feels to do all the things, and I'm sharing everything I learned the hard way so you don't have to. I may have started this business by accident, but supporting badass bosses like you lights me the fuck up, and I am so stoked to see you grow. Are you ready, babe? Let's roll. Welcome back to the E-commerce Badassery Podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster. If you haven't heard, Amazon released their official Prime Day dates, July 8th through 11th, and Walmart and Target have jumped on the bandwagon with multi-day sales of their own. So you might be wondering, should you run a Prime Day sale too? Here's the thing about Prime Day. What started out as a way for Amazon to ignite sales during the summer months has turned into a full-blown retail holiday that gets shoppers everywhere reaching for their wallets. Just like Black Friday, even if shoppers don't need anything, they might find something to buy just because it's on sale. People love a deal, and they're primed to take advantage of one. No pun intended. As a small business owner, capitalizing on the shopping fever created by a big brand can be a good strategy. You might as well ride the wave, right? But do you have to? Before we answer that, let's walk through a quick and dirty Prime Day sales strategy. Because if you are going to run a promotion, I want to make sure you can get the most out of this Prime shopping event. Why can I not stop saying Prime? First off, be thoughtful about your offer and discount. Yes, a site-wide discount is the easiest to implement and the easiest to market, but it's not always the right move. In most cases, people just buy your best sellers and you make less money. A straight discount or a site-wide discount only makes sense if it drives enough additional volume to boost your total profit dollars, or if it gives you a quick cash bump during an otherwise slow time. If you don't have historical data to lean on, you're just going to have to make an educated guess on whether or not a site-wide discount is right for you. It's all good. Do it this time, and then you'll have data to back you up no matter what the outcome. The more strategic option is to curate a collection of items that need a little love. It might be seasonal items you want to move, mundane or less flashy products, or just slow sellers you're phasing out. Draw them in with a juicy offer on those items, the ones you're okay earning less on, and then make sure your best sellers and moneymakers are easy to find so they can add them to cart too. It's the same idea as when a store advertises up to 70% off, but only 2 items are actually 70% off and then everything else is more like 15 to 30% discounted. It gets people in the door while protecting your margins. Once you've got your offer nailed down, make sure you market it like crazy. Send at least 3 emails, launch day, reminder, and last chance. Talk about it everywhere, email, social, SMS, whatever you use to market your business, and then optimize your website to highlight the sale. Shopify Secrets students, there are a couple of sections in there that can help you bring attention to the event. There's a custom scheduled section, and that shows you how to turn any section from your theme into a scheduled section. So this could be a banner for your homepage, a site-wide announcement bar, it doesn't matter. That section will show and hide based on the dates you set. There's also a scheduled section with a countdown timer. This one is relatively new. It's a pre-built promotional section that has a countdown timer on it. The entire section can also be scheduled to show or hide based on the dates that you set. These are great because they let you promote the sale and add urgency, but not worry about forgetting to remove this promotional banner, confusing shoppers and creating customer service issues because it's just going to go away on its own. And finally, make it human. Remind customers that they're supporting a small business and a real person behind the logo. You can do this by creating a cheeky name like Not a Prime Day Sale and showing your face in the marketing of the promotion. Be as direct as possible about it. You might think people already know you're a small business, but people forget, and it never hurts to remind them. So back to the question, should you run a Prime Day sale? Ultimately, only you can answer that question, but let me give you a little food for thought, a few questions you can ask yourself to figure out if you should be doing this. First question, do you want to? Seriously, do you want to go through the trouble of organizing and optimizing your website, promoting the sale, sending the emails, making the decisions? If you don't, there's no shame in that. 2, do you have a product or collection that makes sense to feature? As we discussed, you want to avoid just giving away money on your bestsellers that people would pay full price for. If you have a small assortment and don't have a big enough customer base to see a significant lift in your dollar profit, it might not be worth it. And 3, will this support your goals for the quarter? Is it going to serve you in a positive way, or is it just going to distract you from something else you should be working on? This is a conversation I have with clients all the time. Just recently, a new lounge member mentioned she had so much to fix on her website when we were talking about what she should work on first since joining the program. But I had already looked, and spoiler alert, she didn't. What she really needed was more visibility. It's so easy to distract ourselves from the things that actually move the needle. Don't let a 3-day sale that won't impact your bottom line be one of those distractions. Look, you don't need to run every sale or jump on every trend to grow a successful business. You just need to focus on what moves the needle for you and continue moving forward. I know 2025 has been a ride and there's been a lot of uncertainty. But what I'm seeing with those who are staying focused and just keeping their eye on the prize, their sales are up this year, and they didn't need any silly gimmicks to accomplish that. So whether you decide to ride the wave or sit this one out, just make sure it's an intentional decision and not a reaction. Even if running a Prime Day sale wasn't on your radar, everything we talked about today still applies because there's always going to be something, a trend, a holiday, a sale, a distraction, ready to pull you off course. The real takeaway here isn't just about Prime Day. It's about making intentional decisions in your business, knowing when to lean in on something new and when to ignore all of those shiny objects. And that's how you build a business that lasts, one strategic move at a time. And that, my friends, is a wrap on this week's episode. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you are having a kick-ass start to your summer, and I'll see you on the flip side. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to learn more about growing your e-commerce business, get started with my free resource library at ecommercebadassery.com/free stuff and get an invite to the Lounge, my e-commerce marketing membership. When you're ready for one-on-one support, apply to work with me at ecommercebadassery.com/apply. Before you go, would you do me a quick favor? Leave a rating and review and tap that follow button. This pushes me up the chart so I can support more scrappy e-commerce entrepreneurs just like you. I'm on a mission to reach as many as I can, and I could really use your help. Thanks so much in advance. Until next time, e-commerce friend, stay badass.